We on?
You guys are on.
Oh yeah. Power Move reality series. Y'all already know what it is. Wildlife the movie. Sitting here with my bro. You understand me? All praise to the Most High. Kufany Gentry. We call him Drop. Original Thug Life members. You know what I'm saying? And my brothers. You know what I mean? 10 toes in the concrete. From Cleveland to LA. From the Bay to Miami. You know what I mean? What's up, bro? You already know. 100.
God is good.
You already know.
God is good, man. His presence is here on earth. He is good. He's been in my life.
Right on, right on.
Yes, sir.
Man, tell like all my people, they already know they active, they watching. Tell them who you are, man, and your relation, because a lot of stuff going on about the Tupac movie. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
and people saying that, you know, it ain't true to life. You know, everything got a little truth in it,
yes,
even
sir.
a lie. Give them a little insight on who you are, and your relation to Tupac and that whole thing.
Yes, sir. Well, my name is Kufany Gentry. You know, Drop the Magnificent. The streets know me as Dropper Julio out in California. I was born in Oakland, raised in both Oakland, Richmond, you know, LA, Oxnard. You know what I mean? I was actually born in Oakland, though, and raised in Richmond at a young age. And growing up, you know what I mean? I had ran away at the age of 13. You know what I mean? My mom, she was cool. You know what I mean? But I was a hardhead, one of them baby kids, man. You know what I mean? And, yeah, she had told me, you know what I mean? If I can't go by her rules at 13, get out. But it was just a statement then. You know what I mean? She didn't really mean it. She had love and stuff.
Yeah.
She had to put her foot down.
Everybody said that.
Yes, sir. So, you know what I mean? I had took it upon myself to leave. You know what I mean? And it was a sad situation because, you know, some kids, they be confused in them kind of situations, you know what I mean? So imagine running away, but then there's no hardship out there. You know what I mean? I ran away, and about 2 weeks later, I ended up with my cousin Bays and Man, and they was already like the machine around Tupac already, you know what I mean? The early development of thug life. He was coming from, I think it was Underground Railroads, it was Underground Railroads, then it was 50 niggas first, and then thug life. You know what I mean? At this time, you had Master P. He was out there in North Richmond. You know what I mean? Master P was actually doing big things back then out there in North Richmond. And at that point in time, that's kind of who I had wanted to D-boy like. You know what I mean? I had wanted to D-boy like Master P because he let us touch him. Master P was out there, but he let us touch him. You know what I mean? He was actually putting people on. That's what he was doing. You
were 13.
Yeah, I was premature, man.
Right,
I wanted it bad, though. I wanted it bad, man.
13 out there.
Yes, sir. Wanted it bad. But Master P was in North Richmond, and Pac, he was over there in Marin, and from whatever happened, you know what I mean, he didn't really deal. He moved over there. But, you know what I mean? He didn't put on nobody in Marin. They was kind of mad because he didn't put on nobody. So at this time, he went to Richmond, and my mom's side of his family is from Richmond and Vallejo. You know what I mean? Richmond and Vallejo. My dad's side is from Oakland, 83rd East Oakland, 83rd and Holly. You know what I mean? And my cousin Bays and Man, they from Central Richmond. So you know what I mean? Pac, you know what I mean, ended up with these guys over here. And make a long story short, you know what I mean, they ended up combining and stuff and coming up with thug life. You know what I mean? And from the time when Pac was feuding by himself, he was having problems with the Marin dudes by himself, you know what I mean? And at that point in time, you know what I mean, I'll be honest with you, it looked like he was worried and scared at that time. So he implanted himself, you know what I mean, amongst my people, moved over there to Richmond, ended up staying at my auntie Janie's house and my cousin Babes, you know what I mean? And Babes, they stayed in Hercules in a condo. You know what I mean? My auntie stayed in Richmond, and Pac was staying from her house to my cousin's house and stuff, you know what I mean, at the time. And wasn't nobody really, he didn't have no money at the time. He was an artist. Yeah, he was an artist.
He was a hungry, starving artist.
Yeah, artist. Yeah, he didn't have nothing, man. He was an artist and stuff, right? And so with my cousins and them, they was already like balling and millionaire. In the 80s, it was something about the 80s, man.
Yeah,
it was something about the 80s, man.
Cocaine shit.
Yeah, you know what I mean? You had teenagers like Eazy-E, my cousin them, that was already big time just from the streets. So when Pac came around my cousins and them was already like millionaires from the streets. It was unbelievable how they was already millionaires from the streets and stuff, you know what I mean? So going back on the topic, I ran away from my mom's house, you know what I mean? 2 weeks later, I'm around this thug life movement. You know what I mean? And what it did was, it didn't make me want to go back home. It made me crave the streets even more. You know what I mean? At this time, you know what I mean, I wasn't jumped into a gang. I was sworn into the gang. You know what I mean? And when I got sworn in, it's like it put me in the depths of the streets, which the depths of the streets is the depths of hell. You know what I mean? And once you there, you know what I mean, the adversity of having to deal with it, survive it, you know what I mean, go through the everyday struggle to get up out of it is the hardest part. That's what people don't tell you. It's like a labyrinth. You know what I mean? You think you getting somewhere, but you ain't going nowhere. You know what I mean? So, yes, sir. So, you know what I mean? Yes, sir. So, growing up at 13, 14, 15, I was a part of thug life, but I didn't have no entertainment bone in my body. Right. You know what I mean? And Pac and them, they couldn't really get the security guards that we got nowadays. People got bodyguards and security guards. So back then, you had to go ahead and rely on what you had and utilize what you had as far as the structure and the movement as the streets. You know what I mean? So you got tiers. You know what I mean? You got the overseers, which is the elders, and you always have the younger generations. You know what I mean? My job and our job as the younger generations was to protect and be the machine that protected around the thug life movement. So, which means that when Pac and them was over there gambling dice and stuff, I'll be honest with you, you know what I mean? I was one of them youngsters that was on a BMX bike, but we'd have us a Regal, you know what I mean, park, so we got to block somebody in or get up out of there. But while they was over there, my job was to make sure that the premises was secure. You know what I mean? We see the police coming through like that. About time the police didn't get to them, shark in the water. You know what I mean? Shark in the water. Whoever had the walkie-talkie at that time, let everybody know, make adjustments real fast. You know what I mean? If some enemigos came in there, oh man, they came in and it was trapped. You know what I mean? They coming in seeing little kids on bicycles and stuff. You know what I mean? Ride looking like we playing and stuff. You know what I mean? We wasn't playing. We was the lookout man. You know what I mean? As soon as we seen them cars or something that didn't look right, hey, guess what? They here.
It was real.
Yeah. You ain't gotta address nobody by name. Hey, guess what? They here.
13 years old, grown man, living, doing grown man shit. On a BMX, but got a car at 13.
And a chopper.
A chopper.
I started
and ready to use it. And not playing.
And I started off in the game with $10,000, a Mac 11, an AP9. A mongoose. It was a mongoose and a Regal. I had an 85 square Regal, man. You know what I mean? And it
probably
was
sitting on some things too.
Nah, it was so up at that time. I had to earn it. You know what I mean? Because at that time, you know what I mean? Once again, we were sworn in and we had bylaws and stuff. You know what I mean? So if people didn't follow them bylaws, you didn't really see it.
That was the Thug Life movement.
Yes, sir.
So we remember when Pac had Thug Life. I always wanted to know why I go from Thug Life to Outlaw. You know
well, it was all the same. They was still around then.
They was around too.
Yeah, they was around.
When they was younger,
Yes, sir. And that was Pac's family. Them coming out of New Jersey, out of the East Coast.
Okay.
We was the West Coast. They was the East Coast. You know what I mean? Okay. And then how it ended up transpiring. The Outlaws was the entertainment part of his little homies. Thug Life part before it separated, because it did separate at one time, and he says that in plenty of interviews. But before it separated, we was the street part of it.
Okay.
You know what I mean? He had a song. This is for my little homies. Yeah, they was talking about
right.
Yeah, he was talking about how the little homies. Yeah,
right. Okay, that was y'all.
Yeah, he was talking about me and my cousin.
You and your cousin.
Yeah, man, we was out there, baby. Now.
See that? See?
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
song, yeah, you know what I mean? And it's crazy because growing up, man, I'll be honest with you, and I'll be honest to the world. You know what I mean? I thought I was living right at that time. You know what I mean? And now that I'm grown up, I'm not no hypocrite, but I see the truth to reality. You know what I mean? I'm still the same person, but, you know what I mean, I gained knowledge and I gained a lot of righteousness, but not only that, I recognize that God do exist in my life. You know what I mean? At that time, I didn't know no better. You know what I mean? But stepping into that at 13, you know what I mean? It was kind of like a curse that I had to wear all my life because, you know what I mean? Like I said, I had 5 younger cousins, man. You look at when my homies called the video, they got Pac and them older, but then they show the little kids gambling against the wall counting money. That's me and my cousins and them, you know what I mean? And out of all them right there, there's probably 2 of us that's alive, man.
Right. So you've been shot 19 times. 19 been times. Locked up.
Yeah, 5. I was locked up in Corcoran C3 5 years for not snitching, man.
Right.
For not snitching. Right. And what was so bad about it, the law and them already knew who it was, took fingerprints and all like that.
But they
put me to squeeze down to go ahead and open my mouth, but once you get sworn into something, man, and it's crazy because getting sworn into something is a little bit different than jumping in.
Right.
Because when you sworn something, you under oath. Getting jumped in the game, you getting your ass beat to see how tough you is. You know what I mean? So when you get sworn into the game, I think that's a little bit deeper than getting jumped onto a game for the simple fact you gotta one by one.
Put your word on. All you got.
One by one, by them bylaws, you gotta put your word and put that signature on it. That way you gotta follow the G code. That's where the G code came from.
See, a lot of little homies think that that was living the life, but you say you felt like that was a curse. You feel like you grew up too fast. You know what I'm saying? You had money. You had guns and cars. And you was a kid. You know what I mean? And somebody would think about running around with Tupac at an early age. It sound like all fun and games.
Yeah, we
have been shot 19 times. I mean, all your cousins, who was with you, most of them gone.
Yeah, passed away.
I mean,
gone, man.
You gotta look at Pac ain't here.
Nah.
So I mean, just think about it. Like
out of that whole thug life movement. Oh, it's like we got extinct.
Yeah. So I mean, you gotta put things on the scale because the money, you can't take none of that with you. Is it worth the time of life that you gotta look forward to? You gonna sell out 50 years for 5 years of fun? You gonna throw away? Just say the average person just say nowadays live to be average male. Just say 68. You 13 for 5 years of fun and kicking it. You gonna throw away another 50 years? That's it. And we don't weigh shit up right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We don't weigh even like with the game. Niggas don't look at it the right way.
See,
they feel like shit. I can. Right now it's a dog food game, but they feel like I can make this quick 300,000. But nigga, they gonna hit you with murder, nigga, when you go to trial.
Exactly.
And you ain't coming home.
Exactly, but they don't tell you that.
They ain't telling you that part. When you grab it and you seeing that, I'm gonna make this quick 100,000. Nigga, you gonna lose all of your life. If you don't get killed in the streets, robbed in the streets, when they get you.
And it's sad because you do all that for 100. You do that all for 100 grand, but then when you get busted and go up in there,
ain't nobody you're
gonna be happy for 5 cents at a PIA warehouse job. You know what I mean? PIA. I was in there. I had my 18th birthday, 19, 20, 21, 22, man. So I went to prison at 17, and when my joke was over, I was 22, man. You know what I mean? And then what made it so bad is I was in the hole, man. I didn't even get to see outside or no sky or no birds or nothing for about a good. I'll have my 18th, 19th, so I was in there almost 2 years in the hole next to Charles Manson, man. And he was over there making snakes and scorpions out of stuff, man. And yeah, we sitting in there in Corcoran. We sitting in Corcoran, man, and it's like, it was an experience. Imagine having your 18th birthday, but you don't have no human life around you.
Right,
you know what I mean? The showers came rolling around. My cell came open. The shower came in. You got 3 minutes to hit that little thing and put the soap on you and rinse off. Half the time, I still had soap on me. That's how strict they was, man.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it's sad because it all starts from us as the people. You know what I mean? The older we get, the more we know better. So, you know what I mean? That's when we start enlightening our younger generations and letting them know, you know what I mean? You're going to grow and you're going to experience life and live and learn, but at the same time, we're going to give you a little guidance. You know what I mean? Because the more we try to put out to them and force it on them, it strays them away. I've been there, done that. You know what I mean? The more it was rules put upon me, the more I kind of shied away out of curiosity. So sometimes you got to caress it, you know what I mean, amongst the youth. Let them know, like, hey, I don't know what you're doing out there, man. But if you're doing something, you don't want to accuse them. You don't want to even take them out of it, man. Just let them know. If you're doing something, man, you better think about it. Because you ain't going to listen to me. You're going to listen to a shot caller on the streets. You're going to listen to a shot caller in prison. You're going to listen to that C.E.O. to tell you to get your ass up and go eat dinner. You know what I mean? So it starts with you and your parents and their relationships. You know what I mean? I came from a broken home, but then I had a good relationship with my mom to a certain point. And like I said, I can't blame her for anything. You know what I mean? It was all on me because of the things that I seen growing up out there in Oakland and what I craved. I didn't want to be an entertainer. I didn't want to be in the NBA. I didn't want to play NFL. What I wanted to do was be a living legend, a big dope dealer, and how them Benzes was out there at the time. You know what I mean? I had studied American gangsters and, you know what I mean, history itself. You know what I mean? And they don't tell you that, you know what I mean, them people that you witnessed as living legends in history of them time, half of them, they got a tainted story. But their story ain't finised. Somewhere down the line, they didn't finish.
They never got finished. They never tell you that. But if you watch Scarface and all that, none of these motherfuckers made it to do shit. There's no glory at the end of that rainbow, man. Ain't no, that story don't end out right. So fame and fortune, and like people didn't know Tupac wasn't even alive long once he got out with the death row shit. He was a year, not even a year.
Not even a year.
Not even a year. He said he wasn't even alive for a year.
Not even
he wasn't with death row forever. He wasn't even alive for a year. He was better off doing the time.
But have you ever heard this term? And Lord knows I don't talk about people, especially him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But people got to hear the reality of things.
Yeah. We gotta,
you know what I mean? We have to share the reality of things, because a lot of shit is sugar-coated, and people don't know how to use their words wisely when they speak on these topics.
Right on.
You know what I mean? But, you know what I mean, the day he got out, whatever was going on with his spirit, he released it to the energy, and believe me, it wasn't no positive energy. So when you release genocide and negative energy through the universe, it's like a boomerang. It's going to bounce around and come back around.
You know what I always say? Karma is a part of universal law, flat out. You're not getting out of it. You know what I'm saying? You're going to, whatever you put out, you're going to get that back. And I'll never forget when Pac was when he switched up and he switched his music and it changed the sound. I'm like, what the fuck you doing talking about this shit? He kind of lost me. I'm like, man, now you beefing with Puffy now? What the what's wrong with this brother? Like, why you do that?
Damn near the whole hip hop.
The whole hip, yeah, just totally switched to negative. Now Pac used to make inspirational stuff, used to make me feel like, yeah, okay.
Have you ever heard this term though? Some people don't know how to deal with a position and power. Sometimes a position and power is a person's weakness.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If a person don't
like giving a crackhead a bunch of money, you know, he's a crackhead. He about to go blow that.
Yes.
He about to go destroy himself. He going to smoke it, do it till he's dead.
So if you give a person that's not spiritually connected and spiritually balanced with they self and understand God, and you put them in position and a power, what you think's gonna happen to them?
Yeah. It's gonna crumble.
It's gonna crumble. You know what I mean? Because that person that's sitting in position and power, they don't. How do you say it? They don't have no heed or warning. They don't have no conscience. You know what I mean? It's just about life right there at that moment.
They living for the moment.
You know what I mean? And sometimes God, he put the best of us in certain positions and had that power to utilize it amongst the people. You know what I mean? It's up for us to recognize why we sitting here in this position and why we had this power. Maybe this position and this power ain't for us.
That's right. But see, people don't like to give up power.
Yeah, but sometimes you can release it.
Right.
How come one person got to have power when you could have a unity of power?
Exactly. That's right.
You kind of see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I got you.
A unity of power is better.
That's how it's meant to be. I mean, you can't have life without air, the sun. All this stuff works collectively. Water, air, the sun, food, the minerals, all of it works together to create life. There's no one thing that sustains us. All of it works together. You can't take no part of it and act like if your body not getting enough of whatever mineral, you're gonna be sick. You're gonna have a defense. That's what an illness is. Oh, you're lacking in this vitamin or this mineral, not vitamin, but you're lacking in that. Your body needs that. So your kidneys may be shutting down because you're lacking in that. Your liver may need more. Everything works together to sustain life, and that's how it has to be in every aspect of life. But okay,
back on the topic.
Back on you. You the topic.
So, you know what I mean, at this time now, joining thug life, you know what I mean, I'm learning the streets, but at the same time, I'm learning wisdom. You know what I mean? I was put in a bad position as a youth. I'm not going to be a hypocrite because, like I said, I feel like it was a learning lesson. Sometimes you got to take the negative and make positive out of it. You know what I mean? At that point in time, the position I was in, a kid, you know what I mean, given a gun, and I had it all on the line. You know what I mean? I could have went and did 25 years of life and all kinds of stuff, man. I put myself at risk. You know what I mean? So how I looked at it was a learning experience. You know what I mean? For me to be able to, out of experience, talk to the youth and stuff and let them know. I'm an OG that's not going to tell you to go grab some dope or pick up a gun or something. I'm going to let you have a choice, but at the same time, I'm going to give you some advice about them choices, something that I should have had. Didn't nobody tell me? Didn't nobody give me an option. They didn't say, hey, man, you know what, just, you know, this is what it is. It was like, hey, this is what it's going to be or else.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Wasn't no option to it.
Yeah, and so with God, how I realized and recognized God was on my side, it was kind of like the book of Job. You know what I mean? I had to go ahead and keep the faith, and throughout my life I had the devil right here and I had God right here, and God wasn't going to let me go, but the devil was trying to reassure him that I wasn't strong enough. You know what I mean? The devil was like, he ain't strong enough, and God ain't going to put nobody in a test or punish him, but God had to reassure the devil like, hey, this dude, so I'm going to let you see how strong enough it is, and we going to let him alone. Let him alone. So, you know what I mean? I went through so much in my life. 19 gunshots, prison for not snitching, you know what I mean? Ups and downs with big money. Some big money was a curse in my life. You know what I mean? But through it all, I still stayed positive, moved forward, still believed in God. All the way until 666 is the devil, 777 started reappearing in my life. And 777 is a sign of completion. It's a new beginning. You know what I mean? The devil could work 6 days out the week, but why we get Sunday to relax with our families and do what we do? Because that's that 7th day right there for us to reevaluate our stuff. You know what I mean? We could strengthen our soul. Like you said, you know, there is no glory at the end of the rainbow. The glory is with God. The glory of God is when somebody's in that Olympics and they racing and they hit that ribbon and they like, oh yeah, thank you God, in front of the people. Or when Michael Jordan or Kobe Bryant, they won their first championship and they was holding, they was holding the thing like, thank you, thank you God, thank you God. You know what I mean? You fall on your knees and you giving your shots out to God, man, and everything you is, whether if you pouring tears, whether if you over there in the happiest moment, that's the glory. And believe me, money don't buy that. You have to earn that. It ain't gonna buy it. The glory of God.
I think that money, especially for back then, they broke us down with fame and fortune and fast money. Fast money killed the black community. It killed us so fast that we didn't even know it. By the time you turned around, everybody was dead in jail.
But I had seen this thing, right, and that was a part of the genocide back then. I had seen this, right, and it was you had the African Americans right here, and then you had the Europeans right here, right? So somewhere down the line, they had say these products right here. They was in the manufacturing, and people don't know this. Each culture get about 15 billion every year. So the African Americans get the same as the Chinese and this and that.
It's
in the circulation. Every year, people don't know that. Each culture get 15 billion amongst that culture, and I think it comes, because I was trying to study it, I think it comes through the tax return error or something like that. But what they did was, they set up there and they said, how can we get the black communities $15 billion? So what they did was, they manipulated the game. They was sitting in there in the warehouse one day, and say this shirt right here, man. They had made this with the same material, the same cloth right here, same price manufacturing it. So they said, hey man, we're going to put this name over there, Gucci. Over here, we're going to put the same material over here like that. Now we're going to put this over here, and I'm going to give this to you for free. She's going to have it for free. I'm going to have it for free. They're going to have it for free. Now we're going to walk around for a minute with this free stuff on and let people see us in our culture wear this stuff.
And make them want it.
Yeah, and so what they did was they put that stuff over there. So now you got one of the first wealthiest black men came over there. So he looking at it like he wants to fit in. He want to fit in. So he went over there and it was like, hey man, I want one of them what they got. And he said, okay, here, this is for you. He stared at it like this and was like, why is this for me? And he said, you know what? The price is cheaper, man. You know what I mean? This is for people right here that they can't afford. He said, man, I could afford what they got. And from that point on, we was tainted. We was tainted, man. All the wealthy blacks that came in, they felt like they had to have the bigger car. They had to have that stuff right there to fit in.
Right. So you spending more for less. You giving the most for the least.
Yeah, and it's all a mind game.
But it's a mind game.
You know what I mean? And then if you look at it, the other cultures till today, they don't care too much about name brands and all like that.
This anybody know me know this. One of my closest friends. I don't know why I should say this on here. But yeah, he's big in manufacturing. I know. I worked in the clothing industry. I know what it costs. I mean, all of that. I mean, I really know. So, yeah. And we did it to ourselves, though. I mean, we're going to go pay these people pay $2,000, $3,000 for a pair of pants. It got to be stupid. Made of the same cotton as the Levi.
Man, I was them same people. That's what I'm saying. So I was them same people, man. So you know what I mean. But it took for me, to have to go through adversity, trials, and tribulations, and make a judgment call in my life for me to realize and for me to be awoken. You know what I mean. I was still conscious in life, but it was like limited. You know what I mean. I was still focusing on stuff that didn't matter. You know what I mean. Today, I focus on reality. It's like if I'm stuck in a reality trip. You know what I mean? It's because of all the stuff I went through. It started from evolving through the thug life. You know what I mean? Then, like I said, I had a part in time where it was thug life, you know what I mean, at a young age, teenager. Then, you know what I mean, I had ties around my uncle them. He was the manager, and my uncle them is all Tony, you know what I mean, out of East Oakland and stuff. Then, you know what I mean, I went to that prison. When I got out of prison, I was 22. I don't know how, but I ended up Rough Riders, man. And when I mean Rough Riders, this is where DMX, that Rough Riders was real. It was going strong as far as the entertainment, right? But then with me, the whole time I never had no entertainment bone in my body. I didn't even have the urge for it. You know what I mean? But as part of Rough Riders now, you know what I mean? I'm going from that thug life stage to prison to the Rough Riders now. You know what I mean? And here we go again. We had to deal with Pac and that thug life. And this right here is DMX, the face of stuff. And you know what I mean? People got habits and stuff, but at the same time, ain't no reason why I'm supposed to be getting shook down because somebody else got guns and dogs and how they carry themselves. You know what I mean?
So, association.
Yes, sir. That's what it ended up starting to be in. You know what I mean? So I did the Rough Rider gigs, you know what I mean? And by, I say, 2004 or 5, the same year I got shot, I ended up, you know what I mean, becoming president. I came regional rep, president, crowd controller, you know what I mean? And it was some experience. The first year that I hit $1 million in 2005, I was shot paralyzed 10 times. 10 times. I want to say the first a month, I'm counting with the money counter, me and my boys and them, man, you know what I mean? Got everything, the Breitling watches and stuff, man. A month later, man, I'm shot up in comas. I got the shit bag, the pits bag, man, everything, man. And I wasn't at war. You know what I mean? I wasn't at war. But my intentions thoughts was, they wasn't righteous.
It was what you say? What you're saying is what you say?
Yeah, self-destruction.
What's the whole acronym? What is it?
For my project?
Yeah.
Oh, we can't let them
Okay,
know.
okay.
We can't let them know.
Okay, my bad.
It's coming. They will know as soon as I got some more development because every day now I'm writing it in and I don't want. Yeah,
we know y'all watching. Internet thieving,
yeah. Yeah, you know what I mean. So yeah, you know, I had to go through what I went through. You know what I mean. Sometimes, like I said, you can't look at a tragedy as something bad, man. You know what I mean? Of course, people's going, man, he got shot, and they gonna fall for it and feel sorry. But us as a person, we have to realize why it happened. Did it happen because it was by my hands? Did it happen because it was a sign for me to better my life? Did it happen because I'm toxic to Earth? You know what I mean?
At least you took the time to look at it in all perspectives.
Yes, sir.
A lot of people only look at things in two dynamics. A lot of times they don't point it back to themselves. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's what's wrong with it. You don't look at things.
That's how I got over the 19 gunshots. Is because I couldn't look at anybody else.
19.
I couldn't look at nobody else.
So that's two different shootings?
Yeah, 2 different shootings.
10 and 9?
Yeah, in 2005 I got shot 10 times in the 805 Oxnard, California area. And then in 2012 I got shot in Modesto, California, saving some people's lives. So it was 2 situations. I had trials and tribulations where I got ambushed and set up. Now the second time, I didn't even have to get shot, man. I didn't even have to that wasn't even none of my situations. I walked into me and the female walked into a robbery. The hotel was being robbed, other people was being robbed, and then here come the robber. He then came out there and he pistol whipped a female that I knew. That's how we got caught up, because me and her, we could have got up out of there. But then she got pistol whipped, and at this time and stuff, how I carried myself all my life, I wasn't, no matter what, man, sometimes you got to put it, I don't advise nobody to fight a gun, because they tell you don't take a knife to a gunfight. But what if you don't got a knife and you don't know how to retreat? Because once again, I was sworn in at 13 on something, man. And that's the saddest thing about it, because it's times where you might have to retreat to get up out of there, man. But you know what? You can't run out like a bitch. I don't want to sit up there and run from something, and next thing you know, I'm going to still die anyway. This girl got hit. This dude is over here in violation. He's over here robbing innocent people. You know what I mean? This dude got the devil demon looking in his eyes right there. That was a killer. Yeah, no, it was a killer. The first gunshot incidents, those was cowards.
You're right, okay.
Cowards. When you don't look a man in your eye and you ambush him and you coming with smiles, I didn't know that was going to happen. I got ambushed, man. Set up, betrayal. But that second dude, oh, he was a killer, man. He looked me in my eyes. He's like, get your bitch ass up out of here. This ain't none of your business. I was like, boy, you better put that gun down, boy. I said, you got innocent people over here, man. I said, put that gun down. I was like, bro, after the first situation, he didn't know what I was talking about. I just got the mumbling up. I said, man, after the first situation, I said, somebody pointed a gun at me. I was going to kill him, man. I said, put that gun down, boy. Yeah. You know what I mean? And he said, he said, man, get your ass. He said, get your bitch ass on the ground. At this point in time, I didn't have no option.
You want to move. You want to go.
God is my witness today. I'm not lying, man. I put my hands up just like this, like under oath, like I did when I was younger. And I don't know what made me at that instinct. Like, I don't know what made me at that time do this, but as soon as he said, get your bitch ass on the ground, I said, God, my hand just went. I said, God, I'm dying tonight. Let these girls up out of here. As soon as I said that, and I was going to continue a prayer. I don't even know why I started prayer.
Wow.
Like, it wasn't even in my instincts to put my hands up for prayer, but it came up in prayer. You know what I mean? So when I said my prayer, he interrupted my prayer and shot me in my stomach. You know what I mean? Shot me in my stomach. So I seen the bullet. Everything came in slow motion. Yeah, I seen it. And it came and hit me in my stomach. And from that point on, man, I'm not going to lie to you. That second time, I didn't feel no pain. Not whatsoever. I didn't feel not one pain, man. Still to this day, I didn't feel no pain. And I died twice, one time for 7 minutes. And believe me, the scary thing about it was peaceful. When I died, I can't tell you, it was like anesthesia. When you go to the dentist or, you know what I mean, or you go get surgery, and they be like, man, you going in for an 8-hour surgery, and you put that thing, and you wake up fast, and you're like, man, it only been 2 minutes.
Right.
They said, nah, the surgery over. You know what I mean? That's how I felt, man.
Right.
And it was scary because it was peaceful, and I haven't felt no pain. But that dude shot me in my stomach, and I jumped on that man like Wolverine. Like Wolverine, man. I didn't have not one weapon. But guess what? God was on my side, man, because I got shot 9 times on that situation. I was able to beat the dude up, take the gun from him. You know what I mean? I chased him. Yeah, I chased him down through the hotel. You know what I mean? But then when I got through the lobby, I died, man, for 7 minutes.
Wow.
I was dead on arrival, man. Wow. It's on YouTube. You know what I mean? They got it on YouTube. The whole 7 minutes when I'm dead in the ambulance and they hit me right there. It's on YouTube.
What?
Yeah, they captured it on YouTube. Them same people right here. It's a trip. Look at these same people.
Wow.
They want to interview. They captured it on YouTube right there. That's a trip that is right there. See how the universe and the energy works?
Yeah, that's real.
I've been looking at a tech issue.
I do.
Yeah.
No. From Facebook.
Share on that out.
Yeah. That's okay. They do that to me. I'm like hot.
Oh no, I'm gonna share with that
one. Okay, you know I got it. Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
You can get it back on for them.
I'm trying.
Okay.
They I got something for them.
You want to get an interlude real fast?
Hey, we rolling. I'm cool.
Okay.
Is it working? Is it going?
No, I see me. I gotta flip the camera.
See it did.
Yeah. I had to fix it. I'm like,
what about that other one? Is it cool?
This one's still good. This one's good.
Is it workable? Am I?
You're back live.
I'm back live.
You're back live.
Mm-hmm. And see, what they gotta understand is this ain't no marketing video or nothing like that. We didn't go back and edit it or clean up nothing. We over here. This is coming straight from the soul of the energy, man. The energy coming from my heart and my soul and my intentions of life. This is all that's going on.
It's like I said, you know, everybody's talking about the Tupac movie, his biopic, and it's not, you know, you think about Tupac, you know, like, I ain't seen it yet. Ain't no way I ain't seen the Tupac movie.
I haven't seen it either.
You know what I'm saying? Like, my spirit's supposed to ran to it. Why? Me? I'm the Tupac. I love Pac. I love the brother on what he represented as far as early in his career. You know, I remember when he switched. I introduced a lot of people to Pac's music early in the game. I remember when he switched over, when his energy switched up. I'm like, that nigga went dark side on me and shit. But I loved him because of what his heart was screaming out from a young man and how I could relate to some of his pain and have, from my environment, what I seen. So, right now, to hear people say they're not feeling it and it's like that kind of make you feel like, what the fuck?
Nah, but I kind of know what's going on with the.
That's why we're here.
Yeah, why
that's
they're
why I'm
not
here
feeling
with you
it,
right
you know
now.
what I mean? For the simple
that's
fact.
Why we're here.
For the simple fact, they should have let that man's soul rest a long time ago. Since he died since day one, his soul haven't rested.
Right.
You know what I mean? This might, to some people, this might be the first movie, but in me, it's not, man, because there was Tupac resurrecting, and Tupac resurrecting, that right there was like one of the realest movies right there. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Then it was the Biggie and Tupac story where the dude went over there. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. There's so many, and they're still coming out, but there's so many documentaries that's an hour and some change that could have been in the and some, I think I did see Tupac resurrecting inside the big screen. Some of the stuff that's on YouTube, the documentaries.
I went to see that. I did go to the movie to see that movie. Tupac was it called Resurrection.
Yeah,
I went to see that.
Yeah, so that was like that right there was way realer than what this is, and I haven't even seen this movie, but you know what I mean. I skimmed through it because I got a little preview a couple of months ago on what it was gonna be like. You know what I mean, and from that point on, I had lost my interest because I was confused about something. How can you rewrite history and not go do your homework on history?
Right.
There's so many people. Well, okay, even with Jada Pinkett,
Everybody.
my cousin Babes,
Everybody.
Man, me, and this is Big Psych. Rest in peace, Big Psych. You know what I mean? He went to the grave with this on trying to put out the truth. He already knew what this movie was going to be about, so he was coming on with his own project, dealing with Round Thug Life. What got Tupac to the situation? Why was here? You know what I mean? I didn't see the movie, but guess what, man? When Tupac went to when he went to court for raping that girl, man, do you understand? There was Haitian Jack, there was my cousins and them, there was Man, there was other people that had a rape charge on them. Everybody got the rape charge dropped except for Tupac, and they didn't even rape that girl, man. You know what I mean? They didn't even rape that girl. That girl pulled a train willingly. You know what I mean? Like you know how that is, the groupies and them. When I was 13, my hands is up again. When I was 13, 14, 15, I'm not going to mention no names, but I messed with some porno stars, man. At 13, 14, 15. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. Pac, he wasn't no pimp or none of that, boy. But that boy had females around, man. Whether they was in the entertainment business, if they was porno business, you know what I mean? And that's me, myself. I had my forehead glistening. I was wet behind the ears. I don't even think I was getting the job done, man. But it was fun.
Right.
I'm slipping and sliding like I'm on a slip and slide somewhere, man. We grinning, showing our teeth. My cousin them came out. They said, "Why your teeth showing like a horse?" I said, "What?" He said, "Your teeth is showing like a horse." I didn't know what he meant, boy. I went over there and I had the biggest smile and sweating and stuff, boy, where that's what we was doing. We was living life, you know what I mean? And that came with the territory. But what we get, you know what I mean? Somewhere down the line is destined for us to create history and go ahead, and when God called upon us, we have to rest our soul. Before it moves on to, no, I don't care if it goes to the depths of hell or to the pearly gates of heaven. Somewhere down the line, you have to let your soul rest.
So let me ask you this, because we're here, and what I see, and like I told you, you know, all this energy, this Tupac energy is out here in the universe, and we're here talking to you. So how do you feel about going forward? I mean, all of this whole moment in time, being the one that you are, the special being that you are, the interpreter of this time and this energy, being a part of that, a true, you know, a vessel, a part of that Tupac situation, man.
It's sad because I get emotional, you know what I mean? Because what the people don't understand is, I don't know what happened in life, but the man's soul is here right now, and it's alive. It's alive. And it's a scary feeling because what I'm feeling right now, I feel like Tupac's spirit. And if you go if you look on YouTube and all in the airwaves, man, there's people that's developing stories and got hot hits out, but they can't even push it out because you go on YouTube and everything, Tupac is drowning it out. If you go on YouTube right now, every little thing is Tupac this, an interview Tupac with this. Somebody that had life with Tupac. I was even on there with a few stories on there. Everything is floating around in the universe as Tupac. But guess what, man? Don't nobody understand the way how he passed away. His spirit was burning and it was evil when he passed away, man. And the way how he went, and people don't understand that, he got condemned. You know what I mean? People look at life and they forget that God don't punish people, but we condemn ourselves in the worst way possible. And one thing is, God allowed all of us to see this man get condemned 2 miles away from here, man.
Right. We're right down the street from where the man lost his life, and this is real.
You know what I mean?
And that's real, because that's the real story, because that's so deep. Because people don't, you know, everybody want to look at the good. You got to look at the bad, too, because the man, I'm quite sure he didn't want to die like that, in that energy. You understand what I'm saying? Because that was all negative. That whole little from when he got out.
It was a negative.
It was a negative energy.
It was like a retaliation.
Like I said, you only was out of jail for a year, and you're dead. I would do better off staying in jail. I'm doing my time. Fuck that.
Yeah.
If I gotta give me a year to fuck getting some pussy, no disrespect, and then I really ain't getting no money, and I ain't leaving nothing for my people.
It was bad.
That's all bad.
No,
ain't nothing good about that.
Yeah.
That ain't
Do
nothing
you
good.
think he would have came out with more of a anger or feeling or need to retaliate?
Yes.
If he would have waited, because
Yes.
the correctional
Yes.
facility did not correct anything, did it?
No,
I mean, you go to jail or facilities or prisons, and then you literally sit there and you can't wait to get out to prove people wrong or do something different.
Mm-hmm. So basically, what she was saying, right? I feel that genocide was stopped when it was premature. You know what I mean? Like right now, being older, you know what I mean? And like I said, we're on a hot topic. We're not talking about nobody. This is a topic that people don't understand.
Yeah, this is real.
You know what I mean? Before something evolved and get in that universe, it's either going to be a positive energy or it's going to be a negative energy. You know, and it's the same thing. You got to look at the body of water. You know what I mean? You got the wave at the beach. It come crashing in, and sometimes it's a beautiful crash. But then you got the same water coming like a tsunami ripping down Earth.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like people look at the history of stuff, but we got to look at the marker on where it is right now.
Right.
And I'm not saying that it's something like superstition, but if you go back to Child's Play, you remember the movie Child's Play? Maybe some of them people don't know Child's Play. But there was a ritual went on where when somebody passed away, the spirit went into something else. You know what I mean? And one thing is, they say it in the entertainment business, man. Some people, they sell their soul or they do stuff they ain't supposed to for fame and riches. And we don't know what was tainted to keep this spirit. It's an evil spirit right now, man. It's sad because the Pac that I known that was righteousness, he's been gone. He's been gone. And he says it in his interview, man. He tells people. He says,
He said in some of his songs too. I listen to what he's right.
Oh yeah,
he said in some of them last songs.
Yeah, but listen to Shed So Many Tears. He's telling people, man, that they didn't plant seeds in his hat and they hatching, and I want everybody to do their research and go listen to that song, man. You know what I mean? Shed So Many Tears. You guys gonna hear and see this man fighting with himself to get his soul back. In that song, look at man.
I know it's real.
You know what I mean?
I know it, man. I see it.
You know what I mean?
This shit is real,
man. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm trying to
not
tell
a
you,
game.
man. He on that right there. He said it. He fell to the floor asking God for forgiveness. He didn't know what he did at the beginning of his life. He was broke. He was broke. He says it. He said he was struggling by any means. You know what I mean? And the industry and this and that. But then you go to that second verse. That second verse, he didn't care. He was going like this. Then he grabbed the riches and the fame. He tells you the story right there, man. They was burning. He said, man, they're burning in my flesh and they trying to take him. Then he said he heard his girl.
Trying to break free.
Trying to break free.
I know. He said a lot of that in some of them last songs, and I'm like, wow, boy. But people take things lightly. It's just like somebody who say they're gonna commit suicide, and then you think, oh, he ain't gonna commit suicide, then damn, he blew his head off. People take shit too lightly. You know what I mean? Period.
Let me use some other examples. Do you know that it's sad because, and we all human beings, and everybody is great, but this spirit right here is so strong and evil, it still existed non-stop year after year. I go back to the time right now, and there ain't a year that we ain't nobody ever not talked about Pac. But guess what? Big Pun was the same like Pac to me. Like Big Pun, that was one of my favorite dudes.
Oh, yeah, hell yeah.
That was one of my favorite dudes, but guess what? He passed away. People don't even speak, or it ain't even no movie, but guess what? That man created history. Big Pun created history. You know what I mean? There's all these other people, you know what I mean? We're going to even put it like this, Old Dirty Bastard. There is fallen structures in life that was great. But something with this man stood out. You know what I mean? And why I'm here today is because with me, I put it in my heart to let the man rest. Me myself, I got movies.
See,
I got
so in other words, people try to immortalize the wrong ass. They take in the lost soul and try to bring it back to life.
Yes. Not knowing what they doing. They
Not
be listening
you
to it. Yeah.
You plant, you tamper with some forces.
It's like Bloody Mary.
Yeah, like
you get to speak in somebody's name or get to messing with stuff you ain't supposed to. You didn't release the energy. You know what I mean? Yeah,
we don't win there.
Man, you didn't see. You seen before the movie came out. There was older people that conducted themselves properly. even Tretch, man.
Mhm.
But what happened, man?
And
The
he started-
evil spirit got into him. Now people want to
They
squabble and
wanna
have
fight about
fades with
this.
with hip hop. We supposed to be here. We done went through so much, man.
Right.
They forgot Donald Trump was the president, man. They worried about the wrong things in life, and this right here, like I said, Tupac did what he did. You got to let him rest for the legacy to be complete.
Wow. See?
You know what I mean? For the legacy to be complete, it's still open.
Yeah.
And believe me, the more it's open,
His work
Man.
done, and you trying to resurrect an evil spirit. That's cold.
and it ain't even. And I hate to say it,
Yeah, that's
it's sad,
it.
man. It haven't
That's
even
real.
begun yet. Because some of these rappers now, you got Troy Ave, new Pac. You got Young Thug. Oh, I'm the Pac the thug that Pac wanted to be. You got all these people right now implanted to their head, and what I'm saying is this spirit once again is getting into the people's minds that don't even have, how can I say it, they don't have a definition about themselves.
Mhm.
Because at this point in time, the Tupac movie should have been entertaining and a family movie, enjoyable. Yeah, like every other movie that come out, we go ahead and watch it, cheer it on, go back home to our regular life.
Right.
This is stuck in the universe. And I don't see if people know it. And like I said, me, myself, I'm here to tell people I was cursed. I was cursed. There was a curse upon my life, man. 19 gunshots and 5 years of prison. And this is a story that I'm finna deliver to y'all. But right now, they should take it what I went through. You know what I mean? Everything that glitters ain't gold. You know what I mean? And like I said, we're here today because we're gonna put the soul to rest amongst ourselves. Whoever want to speak genocide and keep, you know what I mean, repeating history and the stuff that ain't gonna matter today. What's gonna matter today? A Tupac movie and what Pac did of the last eras is not gonna help today. We need help today. There is starving people, homeless people. There is kids that's got misguided and misdirection. But what is all this big politics and all this big Tupac movie and what he did? How is it gonna help today?
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's why we're here.
Right, exactly. That's exactly it.
You know what I mean?
That's exactly it.
It hurts. It hurts my heart because, you know what I mean. It's sad because in life, you know what I mean. The devil's best trick was to let the world, you know what I mean, know that he didn't exist. But at the same time, he deceived the world with money and with music.
Mm-hmm. Music.
With music. That
Music.
people don't know. People don't understand.
Listen, music is the coldest tool. You can't shut your ears. But we always said music was. We had an acronym for it. Man, understanding spiritual information clearly. That's
I've
our
heard
acronym.
that. Yes.
Yeah. And I knew I watched our whole culture change as the music changed. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, crack came in, so the music with the crack. So we had the theme song to the shit we were doing. It was cool to shoot a nigga, kill a nigga.
That's one of
It
the
was
songs.
cool. You know what I'm saying? It all.
Yeah.
That was the most powerful. You said some powerful words, man.
Yeah.
That was really real, man.
Nah,
I hope everybody heard that, man. I know they did because that was real.
Yeah.
Let that man's soul rest, man.
Yeah,
For
man,
real.
and that's
Flat out,
fucked.
you trying to resurrect a man who didn't die in ease. He died a lost soul, trying to save himself. So yeah, you gotta let that man
Yeah.
rest.
And then at the same time, they got to take it within themselves because there's so many people with talent that's being drifted away because they're, how do you say it?
Trying
They're,
to emulate or they allow that
Exactly.
spirit to penetrate him and try to be, oh, I'm gonna be better than him. Like you say, I'm new pop, so I'm gonna try to be, oh, he was like, you know, and that's kind of.
yeah, it's cold,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
So, you know what I mean? With me, I got to focus on what I'm doing. You know what I mean? As executive producer, you know what I mean? We got, you know what I mean? I got an issue in a magazine. I got a couple of movies coming out. You know what I mean? We're building grids and
Yeah,
platforms.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
You got kings that's roaming amongst this earth right now.
And you're gonna be
That's
blind to that because they got you stuck looking at a lost soul.
You know,
That's real.
It's
Yeah.
about the youth. You know what I mean? One thing is with my company, Underworld Status Unlimited Multimedia Group. You know what I mean? It's Underworld Status Unlimited, Underworld Status Unlimited Multimedia Group. But you know what I mean? We're here for the younger generations and the youths, man. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, one thing is I represent, you know what I mean? And I don't say this out of disrespect, but I'm like an all lives matter type people. You know what I mean? Because there's no segregation in my life. I don't have no color lines. You know what I mean? When you get to a certain point in life, you're a world developer. I'm a world developer, so how can I not like this race or this race? Why would I want to segregate myself? You know what I mean? So there's a lot of stuff that we need to tune in today that's going to help the younger generations. It's not about me. I didn't already had a full life, and God been good. Even after 19 gunshots, God has been good to me. You know what I mean? But right now, I'm living today to try to better the future. You know what I mean? I'm here today. God kept me here today to do some of his work. And it's sad because we go back to this situation again. You know what I mean? Pac had a life,
right, but that brings the light back to you. So the floor is yours. You know what I'm saying? You like you said, you original young member of Thug Life. You know what I mean? Was there through the whole thing, and you have a strong connection with that. So the light is on you. So you go, and I'm right here with you. We're gonna make it happen. You know what I mean? Hands down. It's a wrap. Anybody, all my people know it's cracking.
Yes, sir.
We popping.
Yes, sir. And one thing is, we gotta expand this entertainment. We gotta identify new talent. You know what I mean? Like, I understand we got older hip hop, you know what I mean? We got to pay the homage to them because they let it, they set the way, you know what I mean? There's some that's in the middle of the older heads, you know what I mean? But then you got a whole body of talent, but then I'm looking at it every time I look at YouTube. One thing I'm seeing now is guns waving in the air, pointing at, like, with me, I wouldn't even want to be the cameraman.
Nah, me neither. Shit, I'm not about to even fuck with you, dude.
People pointing the beams and doing all like that, you know what I mean? Then it's the double cup syrup, man. And one thing they don't understand is in the 80s, you know what I mean, crack cocaine was put on the streets, you know what I mean, to go ahead with our culture like genocide. You know what I mean? That didn't work. People knew how to adapt to it. And like I said, in the 80s, it made people millionaires. You know what I mean? But then now, guess what it is? It's that syrup, man. You know what I mean? If you look at the chemicals that's and the ingredients that's in that syrup, man, that's heroin, man.
Liquid heroin.
That's liquid heroin, man. And people is drinking it daily and this and that. So now, are you spreading genocide? Or are you exploiting your talent? This is why people like us, we're exactly, I'm glad I don't got no entertainment bone in my body, but what I do got direction and knowledge on how to help and enhance somebody's career in this entertainment world. You know what I mean? It starts with a development. It starts with moving in there, showing somebody how not to be a liability to themselves, their environment, conduct themselves properly. You know what I mean? How bad do you want it? Are you here just saying you want this, or do you want to go ahead and put yourself through a development? Ain't nothing going to happen overnight, so gradually go through this development, cure yourself, and let's put out something.
Nothing's going to happen overnight. Like we say it again, I hate to use this as an example, but you looked at that, like, my dude was only out for a year, man. People act like he was out for a long time. The man was out for 1 year and he's gone, and he was a great talent. So rushing ain't gonna get shit done. Take the long road. Fuck the fast money. Let's do the shit the right way.
I call it the tortoise in the hare race, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like when in that race, I'm the tortoise, man.
Right.
You focused on your pace and what you could do. The main story of the thing is finish. That's it, man. The hare, he was gone and playing around until he got tired and ended up falling asleep, and he didn't finish. He didn't even finish.
Sometimes you can go into that eternal sleep. You run so fast, you might run and be food for the lion that was up there waiting. He ate your ass. I'd say that in one of my little videos. You ran so fast, nigga, didn't know the lion was hungry, and he came through, but he ate you, and I just didn't ever see it. I ain't never see you no more neither. I just walked on through and beat your ass and you got ate up.
Yes, sir. But, you know, so when people go watch this Pac movie, or you guys think about Pac, I want you guys just to say a prayer over his soul, man. Wow. That's the least thing that we could do.
Wow, that's real. Now, that's real. That's some real. That's the real.
Nah, because everybody.
That ain't the realest statement I heard.
Nah, because everybody been out there, you know what I mean? And one thing I can tell you is we have not even seen nobody pray over this man's soul.
Right,
man.
that's what I'm talking about. That was real.
You know what I mean?
His life was interrupted, man. His life is a story interrupted. That's
why this is our era. No, this is our era to go ahead and enlighten the people. We got to enlighten the people with the truth. You know what I mean? With the truth, reality. One thing I produce a dose of reality, man. I got somewhere in my line, I got stuck in a reality trip, man, and I love it. You know what I mean? It's kind of like being in the Matrix, Troll, and the Lawnmower Man at the same time. You remember that movie, The Lawnmower Man? Then it was Tron, where they was blue and red on the bikes, and then you know what I mean. Then you got the Matrix. You know what I mean? Every element is here on life, man. On right here in this world right now. You know what I mean? Of course, it ain't gonna be in a movie form.
No, it's multi-dimensional. It's all here.
It's all here. But if a person could stop and think, and just keep his body still and really just meditate for a minute, their spirit is gonna hover over they. This is just gonna your spirit is gonna leave the body here. And some people be tripping because they meditate and they don't understand that it's really happening when you meditating and it's just that energy flowing. Your spirit didn't left somewhere, man. That body is sitting there right there, and that spirit didn't left. And that's how we got to utilize our life, man. Sometimes we got to spiritually connect and spiritually disconnect ourselves in situations, man. Somebody might be like, hey, drop whoop whoop and yelling at me, man. I don't want to bite and be positive, so I'm going to go ahead and spiritually disconnect myself. And they going to be yelling at a body, but the whole time my mind and soul going to be somewhere else, just making sure I'm not getting touched, but it's going ahead and staying on that topic of being positive. You know what I mean? I slip up because the 19 gunshots had made me bipolar. I don't take no prescription drugs, man. You know what I mean? I 19 gunshots. Everybody tells
I think that has something to do with Pop too. After getting shot, you know what I'm saying? He was kind of, paranoid, schizophrenic on levels and shit, and scared. Like you said, he was scared when he got with the thug life. You say he was kind of scary and shit. Yeah, and he was paranoid, schizophrenic. You know what I mean? So it made him jump at some of the wrong shit. Like you said, you got to slow down, pull back sometime, have some faith,
reevaluate.
Have patience.
Yeah, you got
patience is one of the strongest tools.
I call it repent. You know what I mean? Sometimes you got to sit back and repent and reevaluate your life. You know what I mean? It kind of goes back to them storylines. You know what I mean? With the 3 doors, you know what I mean? The story is beautiful, but guess what? You done came to a part in your life. Now you got to make choices and decisions. Do you go through this door, that door, this door? Because life ain't gonna keep going like that, man. You better believe it's gonna be adversity, it's gonna be hurdles, it's gonna be mountains to climb and deep seas. You know what I mean? Us as a people, we gotta be strong enough, you know what I mean, spiritually and you know what I mean, and within ourselves to go ahead and overcome these adversities. You know what I mean? And how you said Pac's spirit, you know what I mean? At that one point in time, God allowed him to be in a situation in New York and filled with bullets and felt like the triumph of was going to jail. God put you in that reason to go ahead and see what you was going to do.
What decision was you going? What was you going to do?
You know what I mean? He got out. Yeah, God gave him. Normally people don't get bail when they already.
That right there sound. That sound like some devil shit to me. I sound a people. Nigga, you convicted.
You already did your time.
You locked up and you got a bail, nigga. That sound like the devil to me. I'm just saying. I looked at that like that. I mean, me myself.
Yeah, no, but
I'm like, how the fuck you do that shit?
No, but if it would have been anybody else, not Pac, guess what, man? What they done did over there funny. How they didn't help him out.
But then you did though. So that looked like a setup on some spiritual deep shit. Like you locked up and you get a bail, nigga, and you get out of jail and you dead.
And one thing is, I know some people, they get 2-3 years and their family die and they can't even get a furlough to get out.
Right. Your mama, your mother.
They can't even get a furlough to get out.
That's real, man.
You know it's about money. It's they didn't turn Mother Earth into a monopoly board. And, Satan, he uses the system against us. Because in prison, while we out here running and being hooligans, we're worth $4,000 a day to some privately owned banker who's in bed with a politician who has stocks in prisons, which are privately owned. So it's a system that backfires on us. Like when you guys were earlier talking about the guns and all the youngsters with the guns, and they think it's so cool, is because that's not our culture.
Right.
Our real culture, that's not our culture. That is not our heritage.
No,
that is the system's view of us and what they fed us for us to act out like this, for us to have genocides against each other. I think you guys are absolutely right when you were talking about how Tupac, he had an opportunity. God blessed him to feel what those bullet wounds felt like and to see how you can be just kind of treated with no justice, no real justice, you know what I mean? And then when he got out, he should have been more humble.
Yeah,
but because the correction facilities don't correct, he got out feeling the need to prove something or do something.
What's wrong with me? I did my whole 5 years.
It's in the person. You're right. It's also in the person because he chose not to look at what God was doing in his life. He just was like, I'm going to keep going, without paying attention.
It's a such thing. It's called judgment. You got to have a judgment call at one point in time in your life, but then you got to have a transitioning stage. And my transition is like a caterpillar to a cocoon to a butterfly. And my transition, after I came out of my judgment, after I came out of my judgment,
you came out a better person.
I went straight into a transitioning stage. But in that transitioning stage,
that's what I'm talking about. Your transitioning stage, you came out.
Yes, sir. I recognized the key points.
It was like when he went through his, he came out like
because he was looking. He was looking. You heard what I said. I've been shot 19 times in the shooters. I'm not giving no credit. They didn't even do that.
Right.
I did that to myself. By the way that I carried myself in my life, I brought 19 gunshots. So I'm not finna go ahead and be like, hey. Sometimes you kill people with your success, but you also worry about yourself and what you did to put yourself in that position. Instead of getting out like, man, they shot me in this wartime and we going like that, that's that energy that comes. Me, myself, I had to gradually sit there and think, man, without being a hypocrite, be the same person like, bro, you already done lived your life this long. You can't change to a 360 turn, but you could cure yourself. How can you cure yourself little by little? And when I was going through it, took 11 years to overcome 19 gunshots. And you better believe I utilized my time in these 11 years to read, nourish my body, find my soul and spirit. You know what I mean? Like, one thing is, if a person don't got control of their mind, body, and soul, then you're just a puppet, man. Somebody gonna come in there, and they're going to move you around and get to doing whatever they want to, you know what I mean? So I had to sit there and evaluate myself. And then earlier, you know what I mean, like I said, I started out a physical person, you know what I mean? But then when I started making money, it started being financial. So now I'm carrying my life, like I told you in there, I'm carrying my life financially and physical, man, right there, you know what I mean, with a little mental, right? So during my transition stage, I had to recognize where I was going wrong. I was making money, but it wasn't making me happy. It still don't make me happy.
On the treadmill.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So I had to sit up there and I had to stop thinking about a hustle, a struggle, money, and all that stuff, and I had to focus on myself, on why am I here? Why am I here? It took for me to read books like The Driven Purpose Life. It took for me to read stuff, man. And so I got to come into concept. The reason why I'm here, you know what I mean? It's like a manual. You know what I mean? I'm going to go through the worst of the adversity, so some people don't got to go through it, man. To see how I react, and God made me knowledgeable, strong enough to go ahead, man, and adjust to this transition stage. You know what I mean? So here it is, like, you know, when you get to shuffling dominoes, okay, spiritually, financially, I'm like that. I'm looking at it like, man, this is the key word I got. If you live spiritually first, mentally second, physically third, and financially last, then something's going to start happening with your life. You got to spiritually let that flow and guide you like a bulldozer. When you're in a bulldozer, you got to have that plow before you go ahead. That plow. So me living on earth right now, my spiritual form is plowing everything. Then my mental is coming after that. Then the physical is coming over there releasing the work. Then the financial, when you don't worry about it, it starts coming, man.
That's right.
It starts coming.
Follow. That's true.
You know, and I hope the people understand, man, because this is a hot topic that